Welcome back, my amazing learners. Glad you could join me. I'm Stacy and Marie. Today we'll be talking about parts of speech. Amazing learners, in speaking, reading, and writing, you need to use the correct parts of speech for your words to make sense and for everything that you're saying to be understood. Now, what this means, amazing learners, is that each part of speech explains not what the word is, but how the word is used. So, the same word can be a noun in one sentence, and in another sentence, it's a verb or an adjective in the next. Now, you may be saying, what does a part of speech really mean? Well, we can categorize English language words into 8 basic types, and these are what we call parts of speech. You may know it as word classes, but it's the same thing parts of speech or word classes. Whichever you use, it's correct. Amazing learners, today's session will be part one, looking at parts of speech. In particular, we'll be looking at noun, pronoun, and verb as parts of speech. Now, it is very important for you to recognize the parts of speech that you're using because it will help you to analyze the sentences and allow you to understand the sentences as you are creating these sentences, whether you're writing them or speaking them. And of course, in understanding parts of speech, you are able to construct good sentences. And in constructing good sentences, you want to ensure that you're understood through and through. No confusion and no uncertainty in the construction of your sentences. Amazing learners, our first part of speech is a noun, and a noun is the name of something. So, a common noun is the name of a general thing like ice cream, dog, pet, pen, everyday nouns. However, we should make note that nouns can either be concrete or abstract, and a concrete noun is something that you can see, hear, smell, or taste. For example, it was a very tasty pizza dripping with cheese, ham, and pineapple. Or if you're looking at an abstract noun, it is an idea, feeling, or quality that you cannot touch, see, smell, or taste, like loneliness, politeness, happiness, sadness, courage, and faith. Amazing learners, so apart from concrete and abstract nouns, we also have common and proper nouns. Now, a common noun is the name of any one group of person, place, thing, or idea that is generally not capitalized, such as book, school, marker, computer, house. And a proper noun is the name of a particular person, place, thing, or idea and is capitalized, like Mark, Kingston, Facebook, Dance Sport, Zoom, or Mandeville. If you notice the difference, as it says common noun versus proper noun is that which is important and common everyday use. Amazing learners, now let us actually do some application. You're going to get a piece of writing, either a newspaper article or an exercise from one of your English textbooks. And you are going to read through this piece of writing, and then one, you're going to make a list of all the common nouns you see based on the definition that I just explained, and you're going to make another list of all the abstract nouns that you see. Then you're going to go back through to see whether or not you'd have identified all the abstract and common nouns, and then to see if you understand the concept. If you're able to do this, then you're on your way. So, amazing learners, don't worry about it. Amazing learners, our second part of speech is a pronoun, and pronouns are small words that can take the place of a noun. Pronouns are words like he, you, ours, themselves, some, she. Now, we can use pronouns instead of nouns, and of course, if we did not have pronouns, then we would have to be using the word, or should I say the noun, over and over again. But if we are writing about a person and we keep using their names over and over, it becomes boring. Now, you can see the example that I have, that Melissa is a hairdresser, and she wants to get in an apprentice program to learn to become an entrepreneur. And she works hard at school, and Melissa is doing well in her exams. Now, you would have to replace Melissa with she because the reader now knows after the first mention of Melissa who it is that we're talking about. So you don't want to keep using the name of the individual over and over, as well as to it helps make your sentence. Amazing learners, we're now looking at pronouns and types of pronouns. There are actually 7 types of pronouns. You have personal pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, you have the interrogative pronoun, the reciprocal pronouns, reflexive pronouns, indefinite pronouns, and relative pronouns. Now, you may be saying, wow, that's a lot, and you're confused, but don't worry about it. Maybe you have only been more familiar with personal pronoun and demonstrative pronoun, but that's fine. I'll take you through them so that you get a little understanding as to what I'm talking about. So, personal pronoun refers to the one speaking, which is the first person. One spoken to is the second person or the third person. Example of first person would be I, me, my, we, us, and ours. The second person would be you and yours. And the third person would be he, him, his, she, and her. Second one, demonstrative pronoun, is used to point us to a specific person, a specific place, a specific thing or idea. So you'd use words like this, that, these, and those. Then you have the interrogative pronouns, which introduces a question like who, whom, which, what, and whose. And the reciprocal pronouns. We use reciprocal pronouns when each of the two or more subjects is acting in the same way towards the other. There are only two reciprocal pronouns and they are both two words. So each other and one another. For example, Mary and John love each other. Or the gangsters were fighting one another. Because remember, I said that reciprocal pronouns are only two, each other and one another. Then you have the indefinite pronoun, which would be, of course, um, does not refer to any specific person, thing, or amount. It is vague and not definite, as it says. So, all, any, anybody, anyone, anything, each, nobody, none. That would be an indefinite pronoun. And of course, you have the reflexive pronoun, which is used when we want to refer back to the subject of the sentence or clause and end in self and themselves. So, of course, self would be singular and selves would be plural. And of course, you have the relative pronouns, of course, which would be pronouns that introduce a relative clause, and it is called a relative pronoun because it relates to one another. So when you're talking about relation, that's what relative pronoun is. So who would be the subject? Whom object, of course, whose possession, which would be the thing. So yes, there are 7, and you can now look back on them some more. Amazing learners, the final part of speech for this part 1 presentation is verb. Now, verb is known as the master part of speech. Why? Because it's the only part of speech that can be one word and be a sentence at the same time. Examples would be like stop, run, eat. These are action words and can make a sentence by themselves. Now, some verbs, of course, show feelings or state, and of course, they can act as a link to describe a noun. So he is kind, I'm kind. He is slow, I am fast. Of course, you can always divide verbs into main verbs and helping verbs. As I was saying, amazing learners, there are two kinds of verbs, main verbs and helping verbs. The main verbs have meaning on their own and tell us something. The earth rotates. Rotates is a main verb, so we already know what action is taking place there. However, with the helping verbs, they have no meaning on their own and are necessary for grammatical structure of a sentence. but they do not tell us very much. So, of course, we use helping verbs with main verbs because, as it says, they help. Amazing learners, thank you so much for joining me. I part one session of parts of speech. Yes, we looked at noun, pronoun, and verb. Next time when you join me, we'll be looking at adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. I hope this session was useful. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Just remember that you're amazing and you can do great.